Today is June 14th, and it's Monday, people. Let's have a good start to the week. I believe in you. Do you believe in you? And this is the Derek O'Shea Show. Chicago this weekend had 47 people shot and 3 dead starting on Friday. And the media went nuts about it because 47 people were shot in Chicago this weekend. Actually, it was completely silent. As always, I have to look up this information because, it's just another day in Chicago. Lori Lightfoot, you're doing a great job. Yeah, you should defund the police, and you should stop that new rule in Chicago where police officers engage in any kind of chase. They should just stop because, Chicago's a really safe city, and you're setting the standard for the whole world. I have so many friends in Chicago who are liberal, and they just keep voting for people like her. Are you not okay with not being safe? I met somebody who's from the old New York, and she was like, I miss when the old New York was just so dangerous. I'm like, it's dangerous now. Plus, what is there to celebrate about living in a dangerous city? I know you feel so grungy and artsy, and you're like, oh my God, 47 people were shot this weekend. Our place is amazing. No one wants to live there, and businesses will fail and die, and you live in a food desert. And you're like, oh, it's because of racist. No, it's because people don't want to live and breathe in a place and pour money into areas where it's a war zone. Like Chicago, 47 people were shot. How many people were shot in Afghanistan? Bitcoin surges to 40K. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I told people are like, see, it's crashing. It's going back up. Police in Alabama. Again, I'm not your financial advisor, so don't take anything. And I'm not everywhere. Police in Alabama said this weekend they are investigating the death of the television news reporter Christopher Sine, who broke a story in 2016 about a secret tarmac meeting between former President Clinton and former Attorney General Loretta Lynch as a suicide. Another person who broke negative news on the Clintons dies of suicide. I want to be empathetic in this situation right now and say my heart goes out to the Christopher Sine and his family that are dealing with that. And then the conspiracy side of me is like, why does this keep happening? I hope they investigate. We'll see how that goes. I will continue reporting on that because that's too weird. Ukraine came out just now to fight against the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline. Whether, quote, Europe likes it or not, vows the President Zelensky. Joe Biden, the most pro-Russian president we've ever had, stops our pipelines in order to get gas and allow Russia to supply pipelines for the rest of the world. Thanks, Joe Biden. You're doing a great job. Inflation is great. I love paying so much for gas. It's the best. We're doing good. We're all about green energy here. Not about crippling our economy and hurting the people that don't make a lot of money. Thanks for looking out for us, Joe. Oh, my God. I do not get how people can vote for people like this. I don't You shut down the pipeline, and now we have to buy. We're no longer as energy independent as we were under Trump, and now we have to. And now Russia is like, oh, Europe, you guys are doing the whole green thing. Great. We'll supply you with stuff so it doesn't make you look bad. Because that's all what politics is about, right? It's not actually about changing policy and helping the person with the least of these. It's not actually about helping you and me. It's about the message. It's about whatever they do on stage. They're at the G7 summit. They're having masks on. They're social distancing. Yet when they're at their party, they don't have masks on. They're hugging. They're kissing. They're laughing. They're drinking. They're having a great time because it's all about the message. It's all about theater. It's all about staying in power. We're living in the Mockingjay. It matters where you get your news, people. It really does matter because some of my friends who don't understand some of these things that we're talking about on this show only get their news from one news source because they're busy, they don't have enough time, blah, blah, blah. But it matters because they censor information. Like the story I just did, the last video I just did about over-sexualizing children that I put out yesterday. that story of the first grade teacher teaching masturbation videos was only put out by a couple news sources, and they were all conservative based. So that's why there's a problem in this country. It's not necessarily that we don't see eye to eye. It's that our medias don't even see eye to eye, and they censor information to different sectors. That's why a lot of us, when we have arguments with somebody with a different political party, they don't even get the same news as us. Because I'm a conservative, libertarian. I have some liberal tendencies about me, but I get my news from all sources. Conservative, moderate, and very liberal. I like to get it from all, but my liberal friends only trust CNN and MSNBC, and that's why there's a problem. China has accused the G7 of political manipulation after it criticized Beijing over a range of issues. China's embassy in the UK accused the G7 of baseless accusations. Stop slandering China. Stop interfering in China's internal affairs. And stop harming China's interests, a spokeswoman said on Monday. I'm just happy that people are actually saying anything negative about it. You're allowed to talk about Wuhan now. Yay, thank you, guys. Joe Biden breached royal protocol by wearing sunglasses as he met the monarch. And this was a news story. Who cares? You know, if it was Trump, people would be losing their minds on CNN. They're like, look at our president. He's so disrespectful. And he's racist. And he eats McDonald's cheeseburgers. And look at him wearing sunglasses, meeting the queen. So disrespectful. So typical of Trump. We're going to talk about this for another hour. Back to you. Just, you know when you read a news story and you're like, I don't care. I don't care if he was a total douche to the queen. A French company, this is for some China news, a French company that partially owns and helps and operates the Taishan nuclear power plant in China has reached out to the United States government urgently asking for help because the nuclear facility is reportedly leaking gas, and China's officials have allegedly started releasing more and more gas on the surrounding area in order to prevent shutting the plant down. That's always a good thing, you know, like don't shut down the plant because it'll make, you know, China look bad. Let's just release some gas out to our people. We don't care. We'll kill them. The Biden administration has held multiple meetings over the last week on how to deal with the situation. Well, we got to deal with the situation, man. But they claim that it does not pose a severe risk to the Chinese population. The French company Framaton warned in a letter to Biden administration that it was an imminent radiological threat. Cheers, world. China is dealing with the Wuhan lab leak theory, which is probably true, but we don't want to talk about it because it's still a theory. We're not going to investigate it, whatever. The WHO did their best. But now they're dealing with a little nuclear radiological threat. There's just so much going on. You're like, I feel like war is around the corner with inflation and all that stuff and how much money we owe China, and China's dealing with all that, and people are speaking out against more and more as they're trying to be not a developed country anymore, but technologically advanced. They're like, look how cool we are. Oh, crap. Nuclear explosion. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu used his final speech in front of the Knesset Sunday to vow a swift return to office and attack his replacement and call out Biden administration's effort to revive the nuclear deal with Iran. Netanyahu, 71 years old, stepped down for the new coalition government led by Naftali Bennett. Is that a Jewish name? Who became the new prime minister after a 60-59 vote. That is so close. President Joe Biden quickly congratulated the new government. Bennett's office said he later spoke on the phone with Biden, thanking him for his warm wishes and longstanding commitment to Israel's security. Interesting. That makes me wonder what's going to happen in Israel right now. Are they going to get more offensive or more defensive or not do anything? I think time will tell. as we know. I don't know much about this Bennett guy. If you know a lot, let me know your thoughts about it below. Representatives, I like this story. Michael Waltz, Republican of Florida, Jim Banks, Republican of Indiana, and Claudia Tenney, Republican of New York. What a squad. Florida, Indiana, and New York, who are introducing a resolution to censure Ilhan Omar, Democrat of Minnesota, and her three closest allies in the squad. The resolution alleges that Representative AOC and Ayanna Pressley and Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar have said things that publicly support actions of a recognized terrorist organization. Yes, they have. The resolution also says that Omar accused the United States of backing crimes against humanity and notes that AOC accused the government of Israel of committing human rights abuses, says Tlaib. Accused the government of Israel of ethnic cleansing, yes, she did, and against Palestine, and accuses Pressley of equating support of Israel to supporting oppression, violence, and the apartheid. Yes. Oh, just a little infighting. I like that even some Democrats are calling out the squad in their anti-Semitic comments and the things that they said about United States, equating it to the same thing as like Hamas. What? Don't you love when anytime somebody critiques a liberal or Democrat, the first thing is it's either racist or they're taking it out of context. It's not an actual, hey, let's talk about what I said. It's never about, because they know what they said is wrong and should be seen as wrong, but they want to put it out there to see how that's what, that's what all politicians do. They put out little feelers, see how people do. Oh, you're still hate that side of me? This is what I truly believe, but I don't want to tell anybody. Missouri Republican Governor Mike Parson signed a bill into law over the weekend that bars local police departments from enforcing federal gun control laws and violates the Second Amendment rights. A move that comes as Democrat President Joe Biden seeks to impose stricter gun control. That's awesome. The new law allows state gun laws to surpass federal gun laws, which is how it should be, and holds police departments liable if an officer violates someone's Second Amendment rights. Awesome. Fox News reported. If someone's Second Amendment right is violated, local law enforcement could pay $50,000. Good. Missouri. I'm loving some of these like state powers, not necessarily in restricting their citizens, but protecting their citizens from federal reach. I like that. House minority, because then as a citizen, you get to choose what state you lived on based on their politics, as opposed to just like, well, they're all the same because we're all controlled by the federal government, so I guess I'll just go to here because I like the beaches or something, or like the mountains. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy sends a letter to members outlining America's declining condition under Biden. I love that so much. Here's a letter. Biden, you're doing a crappy job, and I'm going to talk about it. Is Biden doing a good job? What are your thoughts on Biden? On June 14th, and today in history, on June 14th, 1877, the Congress adopts the Stars and Stripes. During the American Revolution, the Congress adopts a resolution stating that the flag of the United States be 13 alternate stripes of red and white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white and blue, field, representing a new constellation. The national flag, which became known as Stars and Stripes, was based on the Grand Union flag, a banner carried by the Continental Army in 1776 that also consisted of 13 red and white stripes, according to a legend. Philadelphia seamstress Betsy Ross, shout out to Betsy Ross, designed a new canton. Remember Betsy? She's so racist. A new canton for the Stars and Stripes, which consisted of a circle of 13 stars and a blue background at the request of General George Washington, the racist. Historians have been unable to conclusively prove or disprove this legend, and that's why it's true. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And as always, please share this news with all your friends and family. Let them know about the Derek O'Shea Show. Let them know about what we have going on here. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in to the show. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you haven't checked out my last little ditty I did on the culture and society that is pushing to sexualize children and why I think it's a huge problem, I hope you guys check it out. Let me know your thoughts on it. As always, I'll see you on the next episode of The Derek O'Shea Show.